Away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope we're doing well, mate. I genuinely do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News here in the Stamford Bridge studio to discuss everything that's happening at the moment in the fast-changing world of Chelsea Football Club. Today, N'Golo Kante seemingly is gone. 100 million euros, pounds, sucker salary. Oh my giddy aunt. Is this the right thing to do, to let him go? We will doff our cap to him indeed. Todd Bowley around Saudi. What's he up to over there? Of course, Kai Havertz is a big thing. Levi Colwill. Chelsea want him to stay, but Brighton are coming in left, right, and centre with serious bids. Well, I say serious bids for a player. We'll talk about that as well. And of course, Gabriel or Vega. We're going to talk about him and look at his stats because Chelsea are seriously considering him. If we sign him and Moises Caicedo, we may well be in a strong position under Maurizio Pochettino. Lots to get into. I'm going to show you his stats as well. So strap yourself in for the whole video. Lots to get into. If you want to support the content, please do consider dropping a quick like. Do subscribe. Hit the bell if you choose to subscribe because stuff's popping off all the time. And I want you guys to be notified as soon as possible. So let's talk about Kante first. Kante looks like he's going to go. Saudi Arabia, Al Ittihad have offered him a 2-year deal on 100 million a season, which of course is just profound. For context, prior to this Saudi madness, the biggest salary that we knew of was Lionel Messi at Barcelona. Kante's 100 million euros a season will eclipse this. It will far eclipse anything that PSG have done for Messi. Messi, he was on actually less at PSG. For Neymar and Mbappe, who are on silly money as well. Neymar, of course, that's been linked to Chelsea yet again in French publications, which, of course, we spoke about in the previous upload to this one. Go check it out if you want those details. I can recommend. But, so Kante will be at 100 million. Ronaldo's on 200 million. Benzema's on 200 million. And the Saudis are trying to tempt Lionel Messi away for 400 million. Other players are likely to go. Wilfried Zaha, Alexis Sanchez, Gundogan's had a proposal offered for him. Remember, he's 32. If he wins the treble, he might drop the mic and leave. There are others, man. They are serious. They're looking to spend 20 billion to ensure the next 2 years have Galacticos over there to try and, introduce the league, essentially. I'm sure everyone will have their own opinions on that. Let's move on and talk about Levi Colwill. Now, this is an interesting talking point because there are multiple reports, conflicting reports, in fact, regarding Levi. Some people saying he will push Chelsea to leave. Of course, Brighton are playing, not in the Europa Conference, in the Europa League, a very high-level competition where Brighton will play on a big European stage against some of the biggest teams in Europe. Or Chelsea, who aren't playing in any European competition. Of course, he's settled there. They've got an excellent coach in De Zerbi. But they do sell their players. Brighton, of course. They've sold Mac Allister to Liverpool for £35 million. World Cup winning Mac Allister to Liverpool for £35 million. Cucurella cost 62 million. Do they just mug off Chelsea? I mean, I suppose Ben White cost 50 million for Arsenal, but I do feel like they are just mugging off Chelsea. They are quoting 70 million plus for Moises Caicedo, but they sell Mac Allister for 35 million. Maybe there's just not the market for him, and they knew he was going one way or another. It is tough. So they bid Chelsea for Levi Colwill, of course, highly appreciated by Chelsea Football Club. They bid £35 million, £30 million, I believe it was. Chelsea waved that away and they were like, no, this guy is so good. You constantly are fleecing us. We are not going to sell you Levi for £30 million. They are reported to return with a £40 million bid. Now, Chelsea of old, and maybe even recently, would have been very tempted by this. Of course, we jumped at the chance to sell Gurhi for pure profit. The same with Tammy Abraham and Fikayo Tomori. Lest we forget, we sold Tomori for about, £22 million, and he went and won the Scudetto with Milan. Obviously an amazing centre-back. He should be at England international, but you can thank Gareth Southgate for that. Excuse me. Now, Chelsea are likely to say no to 40 million. It's up to the player. Some reports are suggesting that Levi will push for a move. Some informed people are saying that is nonsense. And provided the relevant good contract comes in for Levi, bearing in mind, even if he's tempted to stay at Brighton, Brighton won't pay as much as Chelsea. Even with Chelsea's new reduced wage package, you know, Brighton are in Europe, we're not. Chelsea still make a lot more money than Brighton as an institution, of course. So we can offer better wages. So if he gets the big wage offer and he gets Pochettino saying, yes, you are part of my plans, big man. You are going to play football at Chelsea. He will play for Chelsea. Chelsea do not want to sell. The position maintains. Fabrizio Romano has reported 40 million or not. They'd have to come in with a crazy bid. Maybe if they offered to give us the Cucurella money back, Chelsea might bite purely because of our financial position, but I'm not so sure. Of course, there's reports on Mason Mount as well. This is tough, bro. So Mount wants to stay at Chelsea, but not at any cost. He wants to be valued. Reports suggest he did have an offer on the table for 200k a week, but it wasn't. It was a 1-year contract to say, look, have high wages for a year while we decide what to do with you and whatever. I don't know if that's now off the table or Mount's rejected that. But he does want to stay. You know, you got people like Ben Chilwell and Reece James saying, yeah, of course we want him to stay. We understand Mason does want to stay, but at the same time, Ten Hag and many other clubs, Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool and Bayern Munich all really want to sign Mason Mount, which obviously makes him feel good, probably. He's like, finally, I'm actually being appreciated by clubs, but it's just annoying it's not my own clubs or my own fan base or whatever. I wanted to talk about Pochettino in this context because he will feel, not robbed, but frustrated because two of the players that he was incredibly interested in working with in the current Chelsea setup is N'Golo Kante and Mason Mount. Two of the players we've already discussed in this video leaving Chelsea, or Kante looking like a done deal. He's gone to Al Ittihad in the Saudi... Is it Saudi Premier League or Saudi League? I don't know what it's officially called. And Mason has agreed terms with Manchester United. But Chelsea have dug the heels and said, look, yeah, you can have him. You can go, have your Manchester United salary, but we need to make money off you. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to make 70 million plus. A 50 million bid is what Manchester United are prepared to pay. They feel like a player who's had a poor season in terms of form, which everyone would agree on. Of course, there's mitigating circumstances, and Liverpool, Arsenal, United and Bayern all understand that, hence wanting him. But, and he's got 12 months left on his deal. So they're like, we'll give you 50 million for this 12 months out of form player because we recognise he's a good player and he's an England international. But Chelsea are going, no, 70 million plus for us to entertain it. What does this mean? Well, it means two things. Ten Hag says, yeah, he'll transform our midfield. I'm done with Eriksen. I need more of a functional midfielder who can play between the lines. He's the one for the future. Just do it. And Manchester United do what they did with Casemiro and Sancho, and they just eventually buy it and pay the money. And Chelsea make a lot of money on Mason Mount. Failing that, we keep him and he runs down his contract, or Pochettino loves him. He loves Pochettino. We win a load of games. He scores some goals, and he gets the fans sing his name, and he thinks, how the ruddy heck can I leave this? And the ownership goes, how the ruddy heck can we let him go? Remember Todd Bowley and Clear Lake, if they own the club while Mason Mount's in form, they might think, yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's give him the wages. We'll see what happens. It all lies in the balance. But this is an interesting thing with Kai Havertz as well. Because maybe not as much as Kante and Mount. You'd think, even though it's not reported that Poch would really like to work with Havertz in the same way of Kante and Mount, Havertz does seem like the kind of player that would work with Poch. He does work hard, Havertz. He's not, I know he's got that sort of Mesut Ozil vibe of floating around, but he doesn't. He works hard and he gets amongst it. But he's got good skills. And he fits the mould of that Dele Alli form of his life season under Pochettino. Pochettino unlocked Dele Alli. And believe it or not, I think Kai Havertz is more naturally gifted than Dele Alli. I think he could be a great success. But at the same time, if Real Madrid say £75 million for Kai Havertz, and he's got £28 million left on his amortization bookkeeping thing, then, you know, you just you sell him, and I think you understand that he's not going to Manchester United and he's going to ball out, or Man City. Let's be real, he'd probably ball out only at Man City. And you don't have to see that. Like, I can stomach Kovacic doing well for 2 or 3 years at Man City. You know, he won a Champions League with us. He was good with us. He won a Europa League with us. He's 29, going on 30. Let him go and have a couple of good years at City. They're way better than us. I'm cool with that. I can survive. Do you know what I mean? But Kai Havertz saying going to Man City and whatever, you know, it would sting more. So if he goes to Real Madrid, fine. Go to Real Madrid. Thank you very much. You've scored an iconic moment, a goal, an iconic moment of our history. But if we met at £75 million for Kai Havertz, yes, we've got, and João Felix is going, so that's both Havertz and Felix going. Yes, Nkunku is coming in, but you try and keep Mount. You just try and keep Mason Mount there. We're not going to buy a number. We're going to play with a number 10. As things stand, we're not going to buy a number 10. But we are going to buy a central midfielder, hopefully alongside Caicedo, should we get over the line. And it could be Gabriel Vega. So, been linked heavily with Chelsea, of course, of late. Gabriel Vega, the 21-year-old central midfielder, so not attacking midfielder, suits the age profile and the plan. He currently plays for Celta Vigo. You'd imagine he'd have no issue agreeing terms of Chelsea's wage structure. You know, like, I don't know if it says what his wages currently are on Transfermarkt. I'm looking now. Regardless, they'll be nowhere near what Chelsea offer, even with Chelsea's reduced wage bracket. He can play anywhere in the three, CDM, central, and it says attacking. I think probably more central. I don't think we'll see him we won't be buying him as a CDM. But I tell you what, man, if he's a CDM with 11 league goals and 4 assists in 36 games and have goal involvement every other game, I'm going to show you his match report, or his strengths from his scouting report now. Here we go. So this is his strengths. And as you can see, young Gabriel Vega has got a lot of offensive strengths. He is in the 99th percentile for goals, scoring 0.43 goals every 90 minutes of it per game. Goals and assists, basically 0.6 per game. This is not CDM numbers. You could argue Andre Santos could be played as a CDM and scores a lot, but if we play Andre Santos as well, we've suddenly got goals from midfield. Look at that, 99 percentile for the top 1, 2, 3, 6 metrics, and they're all goal scoring or assisting metrics. You know, it takes a lot of shots, a lot of shot creating actions, a lot of goal creating actions. You know, he's really incredible, really. Carries into the penalty area. So this kid likes to get forward and likes to help the attack, but can also reportedly play CDM, which would make you think he is the all-round midfielder, which is kind of like Andre Santos, which is the all-round midfielder, which is kind of like Enzo Fernandez, the all-round midfielder. All these guys can play CDM, midfield, and forwards. Caicedo is flexible in the midfield, but you'd probably argue he's the most defensive out of the lot. Incredible, really. Like, an incredible array of talent in there. And Chelsea are pushing for him. He's got a release clause for like £35 million, I believe. Barcelona want him, as well as another couple of clubs. But Barcelona are in huge financial trouble. You'd imagine Chelsea, despite our financial trouble, will be in a stronger position to negotiate a better package to Celta Vigo. And also, you know, we've got a lot of assets that we can sell and make a lot of money. To inside the Premier League, of course, where all the money is. You know, Ruben, you make a few quid selling out. Pulisic, you make a few quid selling out. Aubameyang, you probably break even, or you lose a bit, but you won't. You know, you just get his wages off the book. Ziyech, make a few quid because he's still got admirers. And then if you sell Gallagher within the Prem. If you sell Havertz to Real Madrid, you know, there's money there. So Chelsea can allure these players better. And, you know, you can join the likes of Andre Santos and people. It's very, very exciting. Let me know what you think, guys. I've never watched this guy play in my life. I'm reacting to metrics, scouting report, Transfermarkt. Of course, there'll be many of you watching who know him better than I. I'll be very interested to learn your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on everything I've spoken about in this video. Do show support by liking the video if you want to support me. Subscribe if you want to, and should you choose to do so, hit the bell. Love you very much. Keep it locked. See you on the next one. Peace.